Welcome to This Explainer. If you're a focused learner, ready to really take your career to the next level, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're talking about taking those generic job applications and completely transforming them into a strategic, cohesive professional brand. Because whether you're hunting for your very first internship or making a massive mid-career pivot, your application materials are often your first, and honestly, sometimes your only opportunity to make an impact. So, we're going to break down how to stop sending out documents that just blend in and instead build what we call your first impression arsenal. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap. We'll start with the job application packet and the application letter. After that, we'll design a winning resume, build your LinkedIn presence, and wrap it all up with a final application checklist.
All right, Section 2, the application letter, bridging the gap between the job and your resume.
Now, you might be wondering how to actually do that. Well, this letter is a highly targeted tool, and its entire purpose is to explicitly match your qualifications with exactly what the employer needs. You basically have two main formats to choose from here. On the left, we've got objective letters. These are super brief. They just identify the position, ask for an interview, and point to the attached resume. But on the right, highlight letters go a step further. They summarize key details from your resume to explicitly show why you're the perfect fit. Highlight letters are generally a real game changer because they truly connect the dots for the hiring manager.
To see why making those connections matters so much, let's read through this vague example. Various rehabilitation hospitals. Training and supervising patients. Yikes, this is dangerously generic, right? It gives the employer literally no real reason to keep reading. You're forcing the hiring manager to do all the hard work of figuring out if you're actually qualified.
But now, look at the revision. This brilliantly illustrates the power of specifics. Suddenly, we aren't just talking about various hospitals. We are naming Cypress Creek Hospital. We aren't just mentioning some vague training. We're listing exact CPR, first aid, and crisis intervention certificates. See the difference? By injecting concrete details, this applicant becomes instantly memorable and undeniably qualified. Moving right along to Section 3, designing a winning resume, a tailored record of your background.
Remember, your resume is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of document, and you have real options on how to structure it. You can organize it functionally, which is absolutely fantastic if you're a student, by putting your strongest asset, like your education or specific coursework, right up at the top. Alternatively, you could use a thematic resume. This divides your experience into targeted categories, like project management or technical support. And the absolute magic of this approach is that you can literally mirror the exact headings used in the job advertisement. But let's pause for a second and address the elephant in the room. What if you have very little experience? I know, this is a massive hurdle for early career viewers who are staring at a blank page, wondering how on earth to fill a document when you've maybe only had one part-time job under your belt.
Well, the really great news is that you probably have way more experience than you think. You just need to reframe it. Look at these resume boosters. Did you tackle a massive team project in college? Guess what? That's project management experience. Volunteered to run social media for a local club? Boom, technical and marketing experience. By leveraging your coursework, academic projects, and organizational involvement, you can totally build a robust, compelling resume, even if your formal job history is pretty short.
Before we leave the resume behind, take a quick mental screenshot of this rapid-fire formatting checklist. Because formatting matters just as much as the content. You want to use hanging heads to keep your paragraphs strictly under 6 lines. Maximize your white space so the whole document can breathe. Drop the word I and use a really terse, action-oriented writing style. And hey, if you're a bit short on content, strategically adjust your spacing and margins to ensure your text perfectly fills one clean, visually striking page.
All right, Section 4, building your LinkedIn presence, establishing an active professional brand.
So we're stepping away from static paper and moving to your living digital footprint. With over 900 million members globally as of 2025, being on LinkedIn isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely indispensable. It is the place where you network, build real relationships, and uncover those hidden job opportunities that literally never hit the traditional job boards. When someone lands on your profile, your About section is exactly where you win them over. Think of it as your 30-second elevator pitch just in text form. To nail it, follow these 3 steps. First, identify your passion. Second, clearly state your value by listing out your skills and abilities. And third, please show your personality. Write it in the first person so it feels like a genuine conversation with you, not just some robotic list of tasks. And sitting right above that About section is your headline. Instead of a boring default job title like PhD candidate, use your headline to actually stand out. Check out this fantastic example. It perfectly injects personality and industry keywords into one punchy sentence. It tells you exactly what they do and the value they bring, hooking the reader immediately. So why does keeping your headline and About section so concise matter? Well, the way employers view profiles has totally shifted. Over 60% of LinkedIn profile views happen on mobile screens right now. If your profile is just a giant wall of text, a recruiter swiping on their phone during their morning commute is going to skip right past you. You've got to be punchy and scannable.
And here is the absolute biggest secret to LinkedIn success: 40X. You have got to complete every single section of your profile. Upload a professional photo, list out your skills, fill out your education to hit that all-star status. Why? Because the algorithm mathematically favors complete profiles, making you 40 times more likely to actually receive opportunities. Seriously, do not leave those sections blank.
Finally, Section 5, the final application checklist, tying it all together.
This brings us completely back to our core concept. Your first impression arsenal is your cohesive personal brand. It's established through a targeted application letter, a strategically tailored resume, and that optimized living presence on LinkedIn. The real secret here is that every single document perfectly complements the others without just repeating the exact same information. They're all working together to tell different, fascinating chapters of your professional story. I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to spark your next steps. Be totally honest with yourself for a second. If a hiring manager searched your name right now, today, would your first impression arsenal land you the interview? I strongly encourage you to review and revamp your materials today using the strategies we've discussed. Take control of your professional narrative, build your arsenal, and go get that job. Thanks for learning with us on this explainer, and we will catch you next time.